This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
And good evening to you at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins, bringing you the news from my home as part of RTV6's social distancing effort.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. First at 11, the latest information from the health department on the toll COVID-19 is taking on Hoosier lives. There are now 630 deaths reported in the state. More than 12,000 people have tested positive for the virus. More than 67,000 have been tested.
We're asked how the pandemic is being handled in jails and prisons. We told you last night at 11 there are continued concerns about the safety of inmates and Department of Correction employees since they are in such close quarters. The department's chief medical officer says the Indiana DOC is working with our neighbors to the east. Ohio is conducting widespread inmate testing.
We actually were in touch with Ohio Department of Correction overnight and again this morning just to kind of figure out the logistics of how they made that happen. We're looking at what they are doing and we're seeing how we can replicate a similar model here in Indiana. I don't have anything firmed up that I could share at this time though.
Yesterday, the Department of Correction announced 2 inmates have died from COVID-19 at the Plainfield Correctional Facility. More than 200 inmates have been diagnosed with the virus. At least 83 employees have also tested positive.
Also at today's briefing, Indiana's health commissioner answered questions about why specific details from senior care facilities are not being shared by the state.
The families of these individuals that live in or reside in these residential facilities or these nursing homes are to be notified by the nursing home, and the recent CMS regulations, so Medicare and Medicaid regulations, are requiring them to notify families of any positive cases and update them on additional positive cases and to update them on any deaths that occur in those facilities. So that's where we're going to leave that at this point.
An Indianapolis woman tells RTV6 yesterday she learned her mother tested positive for the virus. Abby Arrurio says she has not been able to visit her mom at Decatur Township Genesis Healthcare due to restrictions to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. She wants her mother taken to a hospital, but says the facility is telling her everything is under control and she should not worry.
They called me yesterday and told me she tested positive, and I just started crying. It was just like everything blacked out then. Because I know I've been trying to call her for the past couple weeks, and I haven't been able to get a hold of her to her cell phone because I got her a cell phone so I can video chat her.
RTV6 has been told Abby's mother is on a ventilator in her room at the facility. We are in contact with the center and are working to get answers about protocols. We will bring you updates as we learn more.
Indiana's stay-at-home order will continue through May 1st, and Governor Holcomb says businesses that have been closed should start preparing now to safely reopen when the time comes. RTV6's Cameron Riddle shows you how a local barber plans to protect workers and clients once his business is given the all-clear.
Inside the Runway Barber and Beauty Lounge, the only thing getting cleaned up is the shop itself, as barbershops and beauty salons have been ordered to close in an effort to slow the spread of coronavirus.
No business at all. We've been closed since March 24th, projected to be reopened May 5th.
Jason Lockwood is the owner of the shop on West 38th Street. His projection comes with the hope that the governor allows barbershops to reopen when the current executive order expires. But whether opening day is at the start of May or later, Lockwood is preparing for big business.
I project us to be busy as if we didn't close. The anticipation for haircuts are definitely going to be at an all-time high.
With that anticipation comes some nervousness and new precautions. Getting a haircut is an absolute violation of social distancing, with a barber and their client inches away from the other's face. Lockwood says cutting hair during a pandemic will bring a number of changes.
I'm going to make sure that we have gloves on hand for clients that come in, as well as I'm also make sure that we have masks. All my barbers will have masks. Temperatures will be checked as clients come in, as well as barbers.
And what about those clippers that touch every customer's face?
Through this process, we're going to make sure as we're spraying our clippers, we have disinfectant spray. So we're going to make sure the client sees us spray each clipper before we even put it on their head, just to give them a peace of mind.
Barbers will also work in shifts, increasing social distance by using every other chair. Lockwood says customers should feel at ease knowing the staff at Runway are taking their safety seriously.
They scared enough, trust me. They calling me, asking me questions on a day-to-day basis as far as how are we going to move forward with sanitation. So I know they're serious about keeping the place clean.
On the west side, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Well, Governor Holcomb stressed again today that Indiana's daily number of COVID-19 cases will drive the decision to reopen businesses like barbershops and restaurants.
RTV6 is sharing resources and stories that will help our community rebound from the coronavirus pandemic. That includes our Hiring Hoosiers mission, connecting you to job opportunities. Many industries are adding workers immediately. That includes drugstores like Walgreens and CVS, big box retailers, supermarkets, and pizza chains. For more info, go to hiringhoosiers.com.
We're also helping you keep track of what the government is doing to support those in need. A new bill to add more funding to help small businesses is headed to the House. Today, the Senate approved a $483 billion coronavirus aid package. More than $300 billion would go to boost the Paycheck Protection Program. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin stresses that funding is meant to help small businesses.
Certain people on the PPP may have not been clear in understanding the certification. So we will give people the benefit of the doubt. We're going to put an FAQ out, explain the certification. If you pay back the loan right away, you won't have liability to the SBA and to Treasury. But there are severe consequences for people who don't attest properly to this certification. And again, we want to make sure this money is available to small businesses that need it, people who have invested their entire life savings. We appreciate what's going on, and they're hiring people back.
The House is expected to vote on the bill tomorrow. President Trump says if it passes, he will sign it into law.
Before the first round of funding ran out for the Paycheck Protection Program, some Indiana businesses were able to apply for loans to support their employees. I found out it made a huge difference for one local entrepreneur who owns Speedway Indoor Karting and what other companies need to know so they can rebound from the pandemic as well. Former IndyCar driver and local entrepreneur Sarah Fisher has found herself in a situation that many Hoosier business owners are facing.
5 businesses that kind of work together that were closed as a result of it. We think that one day feels like a week. So when you finally get somewhere with a project or a loan application, it feels like it's been months. But in all honesty, it's only been a couple of weeks.
When the first government stimulus plan was approved, Fisher immediately applied for the Paycheck Protection Program, also known as PPP, to help keep the staff of her 5 businesses employed.
We've kind of been dividing and conquering, and we're still paying them at full rate. We need them badly for when we restart, whenever that is.
Through the quick action from her lender, North Salem State Bank, Fisher's employees are taken care of, and she can use her company's savings to take care of other expenses.
These loans were really important for us to bridge that gap from shutdown to getting back open and supporting our employees in the process. The payroll protection loan was very important for us because, you know, we wanted to use the capital on hand that we had to be able to take care of bills that we have standing from, you know, the 1st of March, getting ready for March Madness and all of the entertainment around that.
Now that Congress is on the verge of approving another round of relief funding, small businesses that were shut out of the first round of Paycheck Protection loans will have another chance to apply for the PPP and Economic Injury Disaster loans.
This is unprecedented times, right? The whole country has never been declared a disaster. I mean, this program was not really set up for something like this. It was set up for individual natural disasters.
Stacy Pointer, the Small Business Association's Indiana Regional Director, says the SBA processed more than 14 years of loans in less than 14 days. And the SBA did over 26,000 PPP loans just in Indiana. And if for some reason the federal funding runs out again, the SBA has this message for business owners.
We have a lot of resources available for you. We still have our counseling arm through our Small Business Development Center, our SCORE chapters, our women's business centers. Everybody is still working, even though we're working remotely. They'll be willing to meet with you. But, you know, we are here. We are here to assist you and to get you through this time.
And for more information on resources for your small business and COVID-19 impact, go to sba.gov/coronavirus.
When it comes to federal funding to directly help people and families, Call 6 Investigates has been digging into concerns. Some people are not getting their stimulus checks, and some are getting error-type messages when they check the IRS portal. Sandra Fink and her husband own a wedding venue in Brown County. With no money coming in, they were very much looking forward to their stimulus check. But when they checked the IRS website, it says payment status not available.
I just want to know what's going on. If it said, you know, you're not going to get yours for another month and it's going to come by a paper check, that's fine. Just to know something.
Call 6 Investigates has been reaching out to the IRS on behalf of Hoosiers since Thursday morning. We've called and emailed half a dozen times. We found information on the IRS website that says you could get the payment status not available message for several reasons, including the IRS hasn't finished processing your 2019 return, or the application doesn't yet have your data. Or you may not have received a stimulus check because you are not eligible, because you make too much money, your Social Security number is invalid, or you were claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return. Sandra Fink says she doesn't fall into any of these categories and is hoping to get her money soon. As part of the Rebound Indiana effort, RTV6 is hosting a virtual forum with the Department of Workforce Development tomorrow evening at 7:30. Join the discussion and ask questions about getting back to work and making ends meet on the RTV6 Facebook page and our website, theindychannel.com.
High school seniors will miss out on a big rite of passage this spring. Graduation ceremonies are canceled due to the pandemic. Next, a new effort to make the milestone special that anyone can take part in.
There's also a new project to transform unused graduation gowns, how those gowns can help medical workers fighting COVID-19 on the front lines. Kevin.
And Mark, there are 2 days in my forecast that look quite wet. Thursday is one of them. We'll talk about the other coming up.
Streaming live on all your devices.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
I started off with a friend of mine's kid, my kid, a couple more kids, and then here we are a week later with 2,500 plus.
A Facebook group dedicated to supporting the class of 2020 has taken off, giving seniors something special to remember despite having their last semester cut short. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker spoke with a woman who started the group, and she says it is awesome to see folks come together during this difficult time, connecting with people in some cases they've never even met.
When I go back to talking about high school, that senior year is what rings clear in my memories.
Not wanting the seniors to look back and only be disappointed about their last year, Billy Joe Brown started Hendricks County Adopt a 2020 high school senior. The response? Overwhelming.
So much love, so much outpouring. If you go to the page, you will see kids sitting there with baskets full of goodies, or a note or a letter or a new shirt from the college that they intend to attend.
The Facebook group is filled with hundreds of seniors looking to be adopted in a sense, and it's resonating with people. One of them is Carrie Rice, an Avon High School graduate.
I remember when I graduated, how fun my last semester or last month of school was, and how fun commencement was, and having a graduation open house. All those things that they're missing out on.
After Avon, Carrie went to IU and is now in medical school at New York University. She wanted to give back to someone in her hometown.
I thought it might be cool just have someone that's not local but still has connection to the place to participate.
So many others are getting involved for various reasons as well. Nick Albright, who runs a welding shop in Danville, has adopted 2 seniors who plan to pursue careers in that field. And Emily Wolf, she and her husband, they've adopted 2 teens that share the same major as them, nursing and engineering. This generosity is something Billy Joe says she couldn't have imagined, but is glad to see it's happening here in our community, bringing us together during such a difficult time.
I have seen kids going, oh, I'm in this club and I'm in that club, and parents going, my kid is going there, we need to introduce them, and so much love.
This isn't only happening in Hendricks County. Billy Joe tells me that she saw it on Facebook after being invited to join a group back where she's from in Louisiana. So if you want to take part in this, definitely check social media. And if there's not a group where you're from, well, you're free to start one. Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
And while members of the class of 2020 will not walk across the stage in a cap and gown, their graduation attire can be used in a different important way. Scripps reporter Lindsay Boach explains the purpose behind Gowns for Good.
Across the country, healthcare workers continue to help patients battling coronavirus, some without the proper protection they need.
Seeing and learning about some of my colleagues that are on the front lines facing the COVID-19 pandemic, I have been trying to brainstorm ideas to help.
Van Moore is a physician assistant working in an emergency department in Burlington, Vermont. He had an idea to help with the shortage of personal protective equipment and started Gowns for Good.
We're arranging the coordination of the donation from either seniors that are graduating from high school, university, colleges that have postponed or canceled graduations, or else alums that have graduation gowns in their closets that are collecting dust.
Van says that he's seen doctors and nurses without PPE use alternatives like these garbage bags, but they don't offer much protection. There aren't any sleeves and they stop at the waist. The graduation gowns, however, are full length and they offer a protective barrier.
And it boils down to it, we're just looking for something to protect the individual healthcare worker from the patient and then transmitting the disease from room to room, so allow them to have something extra on.
And while Gowns for Good is based in Vermont, the gowns are not being sent to just hospitals in the Northeast. Dozens of facilities across the country are asking for more than 30,000 gowns.
The big centers, California, New York, Washington, have kind of been hit the hardest with their escalating death totals, and we're looking at, trying to distribute our goods to them, but also these other medical facilities nationwide that are reaching out. So we have people from states all over the country that are begging and pleading for our gowns, and we're just trying to get them there as fast as we can.
And they're going to hospitals of various sizes, local clinics, and 2 assisted living facilities. All you have to do to donate is pack up your clean graduation gown and ship it to one of the facilities listed on the Gowns for Good website. I'm Lindsay Boach reporting.
A Central Indiana hospital is going the extra mile to encourage the power of prayer during the pandemic. Hancock Regional Hospital in Greenfield has added designated prayer parking. The spots are clearly marked. Local churches have been asking members of their congregations to go to the hospital and pray for workers.
I know that prayer and a sense of community is what gets a lot of people through challenging times. We also had a lot of people requesting to pray for us, words of encouragement, kind gestures. So how could we bring that together in a location so they felt connected to us as well as the rest of the community?
The designated prayer parking spots are set up to follow social distancing guidelines, and they are available 24 hours a day. 2 nonprofit groups are helping the community rebound by providing food to neighbors in need. Today, Pack Away Hunger and Proact Indy met at Hovey Street Church, just south of Douglas Park on the northeast side of Indianapolis. They teamed up to distribute more than 7,000 meals. Organizers say grassroots efforts are key to getting goods and services to those who need it the most.
We have a great partnership with Proact Indy. They really are the hands and feet in the city. They know really well who needs these meals the most. And so through this partnership, they were able to identify 3 really at-risk communities that could really use these meals right now.
Some of the food went to a local food pantry called No Questions Asked. If you need help feeding your family during this difficult time, there are many options. School districts, Indy parks, churches, food pantries, and many other agencies and organizations are offering free meals. For more information, search our website, theindychannel.com.
And now to the forecast. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory joins us now, tracking a warm Wednesday, which will be very nice after this chilly Tuesday we had.
We'll jump well into the 60s, Amanda. Now, you need to outsleep the morning low if you just want to feel the mild temperatures. Through about 8 or 9 in the morning, we'll still be in the 30s. Then we hit 66, the afternoon high. We back off on Thursday, mainly because we'll have a day of rain. Friday, we're back to 64 as we dry out. We'll get to the weekend here in a second. As far as our rain chances, a dry day tomorrow. Thursday, very wet. Friday, rain chances minimal. Saturday, back to a day of rain. Some of it could be heavy, especially in the southern third or southern half of the state. I focus on our rain chances starting overnight tomorrow night into Thursday. You see the rising rain chances. We should be dry until then. Temperature in Indy, clear. calm wind, relatively speaking. We had 40-mile-per-hour gusts during the day, and cool. 37 is the temperature right now in Kokomo, leading the way into the 30s. Indy's at 44. Muncie, you're about ready to drop into the 30s. Temperatures overnight will drop into the low to mid-30s, especially eastern portion of the state. There's a freeze warning. Richmond, Connorsville, Liberty, Brookville, then much of the Buckeye State. For us, temperatures generally 35 degrees or so. We'll have a frosty start as long as the wind stays calm enough. If the wind picks up, that'll help mix things up and keep some of the frost to a minimum. But let's plan on a frosty start in the morning. Southwest wind to the rescue. We'll also have morning sunshine, but it's really the change in wind direction that draws in the warmer temperatures. Average this time of year, right there, mid-60s, and that's a good 30 to 32 degree jump from morning low to afternoon high. And as I mentioned, the rain holds off until we go overnight. This is Wednesday into Thursday morning. There's your area of rain. We'll see periods of rain, some of it moderate during the late morning and early afternoon. As we move toward Friday, we're drying out for 24 hours before more rain will return. Temperatures Thursday, because of the rain shield, will be in the 50s. We bounce back a bit Friday. Then on Saturday, the wetter of the 2 days over the weekend. 58, rain likely, maybe a thunderstorm. 40% chance of showers, still very cool on Sunday. Beyond the 7-day forecast, what you can see are a chance for below average temperatures. The trend is certainly that way into early May. So no breakout 7-day forecast with real warmth.
Many more people are working from home, which means they're relying on technology more than ever, and that can cause problems for those who do not have their own tech consultants. RTV6's Brad Brown found several local businesses that are open and ready to help.
Most of us have had to move everything work and school related to a digital space at home. And if you don't have access to your own IT department, people like Dave Meeker are open and ready.
That's how I designed it initially, was bringing technology to you, as I would bring the technology to people and help them understand it in creative ways to get some kind of process or improvement in their business or ROI.
Based in New Palestine, bringing tech to you is Dave's business that has many of those answers to help navigate what can be a tricky technology-based world right now.
I would say probably for the technology challenge.
There you go.
That grew up with a number 2 pencil and a legal pad in their hand.
From basic answers to website development, Dave's worked with many businesses around New Pal and larger companies all over Indiana.
What's been kind of the most frequent topic that's come up for you over these last 3 or 4 weeks?
Zoom for one, because people didn't know how to set it up. And then, oh my gosh, WebEx followed with a 10-page document on Saturday saying, here's how to stay secure. Yeah. But all these things about cybersecurity I've been promoting for the last 5 years with 2-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication.
From the home office to anywhere, really. Tech questions all have answers and people out there to find them.
Just find a touchdown space. Wherever it is, it's either been here or a place downtown or in New Pal. Just a touchdown space. I can work anywhere. Yeah. So it really didn't impact me that much, but I could see a lot of other people struggling, particularly with their security.
Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
RTV6 and the Indy Chamber of Commerce have joined forces to protect Indiana businesses. You can find more about the Chamber's Buy Indy effort and profiles on businesses that are open by going to theindychannel.com/open.
With millions of people filing for unemployment, budgeting is more important than ever for countless Americans. New and next, expert advice on how to manage your money and bills amid the pandemic.
Donation or volunteer today.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
For many people, stretching your dollars will be necessary to rebound as the COVID-19 outbreak continues. Our partners at Newsy are finding out how to set a pandemic budget.
Coronavirus cash crisis. How should I set my pandemic budget?
Boiled down to the essentials like housing and food and medical care
and get rid of everything else and anything that you don't really need.
So you write down information like how much it costs for housing, transportation, as well as things like food, utilities, insurance, medicine, and then, of course, debt payments. And you look at all this information, and you also look at paying the bare minimum on everything, because right now we are really thinking about preserving cash, especially if there's been a reduction in income.
It really helps to go through and look at all of your credit card statements and your bank statements from the last 3 months to actually see where your money has been going, and then visually tease out what's a necessity and what's not, so you can make changes if you need to.
If you received a stimulus check and have money left over after paying for necessities, financial analysts say the best thing you can do is put those extra funds in the bank. We'll be right back.
RTV6, working for you.
Frost in the morning, but sunshine will quickly take care of that, as well as rising temperatures all the way to 66 tomorrow afternoon. Clouds increase as we go into the afternoon. Not bad, Mark. Rain Thursday.
Oh, man, but we'll enjoy tomorrow. Thanks for that, Kevin. And thank you for choosing RTV6 for your choice for news. GMI comes your way at 4:30 tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.